Good morning, Craig.
Trustee Humphreys, are you also going to voice vote today?
Yes.
Okay.
Mickey, can you see me on the meeting?
I can.
You can see me on PrimeGov?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We're going to be voice voting today, Craig.
All right.
Can you handle that?
I can handle it.
All right.
He's the manager. He can handle anything.
He is the man.
I think I'm learning that's not true.
Hey, I learned a long time ago, Craig, if they give you credit and when it's not true, take it because you'll get blamed when it's not yours.
So, Mr. Chairman, does that mean you want us to do full roll call votes instead of partial?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
We can do that. Madam Secretary, do you want me to call that roll or do you want to call roll? You're muted.
Yes, Mickey, if you can call roll, please.
Okay.
What's the official time?
8:59.
If you'll signal me when it's 9, we'll get going.
It is 9 o'clock.
Good morning. Before we start the official meeting, there are a few announcements that we need to make. Welcome to the March 25th meeting of the Oklahoma City Airport Trust. I'd like Chairman, I'd like to have Mark Cranenberg give some instructions to us all. So Mark, if you would, please.
Be happy to, Mr. Chairman, and thank you and welcome to this March 25th regular meeting of the Oklahoma City Airport. I'm Mark Cranenberg, the Airports Director for the City of Oklahoma City, and as such, I also serve as General Manager for the Oklahoma City Airport Trust. Excuse me, for the City of Oklahoma City, and also General Manager for the Trust. We have a few announcements, as the Chairman said, and if this video conference is disconnected at any time during the meeting, then the meeting will be stopped and we'll try to reconvene once the video connection is restored. However, if communications are unable to be restored within 30 minutes, then if we have any items that are remaining for consideration, we'll continue those to later today at 3 p.m. again via video conference. The agenda and the documents are located on okc.gov. Anyone wishing to speak about an agenda item, a public hearing, or to speak under citizens to be heard, we ask that they call area code 405-316-3202, or they may text 405-508-9278. We would ask that you provide your name, phone number, item number, and the reason you wish to comment. If you call in after the item has been heard, you can still be able to be heard under citizens to be heard, but only will be allowed 3 minutes to comment. I'll ask that all the participants, except the trustees, keep their phones on mute until they are recognized to speak. Of course, the trustees can ask questions or comment at any time during the meeting. With that, Mr. Chairman, I believe we're ready to call the meeting to order.
Thank you, Mr. Mark. I'd like to call the meeting to order. We will be voting not electronically today, so we will be calling the roll. So I'd like to call the meeting to order and ask the secretary to call the roll.
Chairman McAtee.
Present.
Vice Chairman Humphreys.
Here.
Councilman Stone.
Here.
Trustee Freeman.
Here.
General Manager Cranenberg.
Here.
And Terry Salmon.
Here.
Is Aubrey McDermott here?
She is not.
Okay, it looks like we have a quorum.
Okay, having a quorum. First item of business is to approve the minutes of the March 3rd, 2021 special meeting of the Oklahoma City Airport Trust. I'll entertain a motion and a second and have the roll called. Is there a motion?
Humphreys
Motion.
move approval.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any discussion or comments? Seeing none, Madam Secretary, if you would call the roll to approve the minutes.
Chairman McAtee,
Yes.
Trustee Humphreys,
Yes.
Trustee Stone,
Yes.
Trustee Freeman,
Yes.
Trustee Salmon.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you, ma'am. Next item on the agenda is a resolution.
Yes.
Uh,
Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
I just wanted to just talk about this resolution, if you don't mind. I'd like to introduce this, if that's okay, since you have already identified the number. This is a resolution that staff has prepared, extending our appreciation to Councilman McAtee for all of his years of service as the airport trustee for the Oklahoma City Airport Trust. I'm very grateful for the partnership that we've had over these years. And I would ask Amy Simpson, our city clerk, to read the resolution if that's appropriate.
thank you, sir. Amy,
Whereas Larry McAtee has served the citizens of Oklahoma City as a councilman since January 30, 2001, originally to fill a vacancy, and was elected to a full term on the city council on March 20th, 2001 for a total of 20 years. And whereas on March 24, 2009, Larry McAtee was appointed to the Oklahoma City Airport Trust as a trustee council member, elected as the vice chairman of the trust on November 18, 2009, and elected as chairman on April 28, 2010, where he will continue to serve in that capacity until April 13, 2021. And whereas Larry McAtee earned a master's degree in management from New York University Graduate School of Business Administration and graduated Princeton University with a BA in Public and International Affairs, and has spent his lifetime since serving his community and the public. And whereas Larry McAtee has always been available and dependable in his service to the Oklahoma City Airport Trust. And whereas Larry McAtee's leadership has been instrumental in the development and growth of Wiley Post Airport, Clarence E. Page Airport, and Will Rogers World Airport. And whereas in the last 12 years, Larry McAtee helped support the planning, constructing, and completion of numerous projects ranging from multiple airfield projects, a consolidated rental car center, and another expansion phase of the terminal building, all of which have improved tenant operations and the traveler experience. And whereas, as councilman and trustee council member, Larry McAtee had a role in realizing a vision of improving, growing, and elevating Oklahoma City, and that role has extended to Will Rogers World Airport in the planning and development of Lariat Landing, 1,000 acres of land on airport property designated for business development. And whereas Larry McAtee's support for new roadways and infrastructure in the area has resulted in the development and growth of Lariat Landing as reflected in the addition of SkyWest Airlines, 2 Amazon locations, and FedEx. Now therefore be it resolved by the trustees of the Oklahoma City Airport Trust that they do hereby express their sincere appreciation to Larry McAtee for his 12 years of service and dedication to the Oklahoma City Airport Trust, and extend best wishes to him for continued success and happiness.
Thank you, Amy, very much. And what maybe I ought to do is ask Vice Chair Humphreys to possibly call a vote for this, if that's appropriate.
Yeah, if I could, I'll make the motion to approve it and ask for a second.
And I'll second.
Okay, Trustee Salmon seconds. And before we vote, I think it'd be appropriate for the trustees and the staff that have worked so much with Larry to make comments. So the floor is open to comments from trustees.
this is Terry. As I have said previously, that I consider this an honor to have had the pleasure to work with you, Councilman, and I hope that we get to see you in the future doing other things, as I know that it would probably be hard to just kind of sit around and not participate, being such a involved citizen for the city of Oklahoma City.
Thank you, sir.
Other comments?
So, Councilman McAtee, I appreciate your leadership that you've had on our airport trust and seeing the growth and expansion of our airports. I'm sure I'll have more comments for you, possibly at our next council meeting. But in regards to all your work on the airport trust, just thank you very much.
Thank you, Todd. It's been a pleasure serving with you on the Airport Trust.
Yeah, Councilman Mack,
Absolutely.
it's hard for me to talk about it without referencing everything that you've done. And I know we did that in the resolution too, but I'm just so grateful for your leadership in our community. I know it started really with your activism and action and service within your own neighborhood, and then grew to serve within the council. And now with the Airport Trust, you serve probably on more trust than about any council member has. And there are just so many ways that you serve in our community. And so you're a leader in our community, but truly at your heart, you're a servant. I'm grateful for you. I see you as someone that I want to follow. And I think all of us should learn from your dedication, your integrity, your work ethic, and really from your service at your heart. And you've led in that way. And I'm really grateful for that. So thank you for your service in all those ways, but especially here today on the Airport Trust.
Well, thank you, Craig, and thank you for being our paper boy years ago. And
Yes, I was.
To us.
Other
Vice
comments?
Chair,
Go ahead.
I was going to call the vote for you.
Okay, let me make a comment if I could before we do that. Larry, you and I have known each other for a long time, maybe 30 years before you ran for council. It's such a delight to see the way you've served our city. For a few years when I was in office, I was able to work with you. And then for these many years on the Airport Trust, I think as I think about the qualities you bring to office, the one thing I've really appreciated is that you're predictable. To have a city council that's unpredictable makes it difficult for staff and for citizens and developers and everybody. But you've been a solid rock, and I just really appreciate that. You're highly intelligent. You can tell that from the degrees you've earned. You have a work ethic that is very rare, no matter where we're talking about, but you've spent full time and more serving citizens of our city and of your ward. And then, as Craig mentioned, you're just a servant. You really have served the people. But the thing I appreciate most about you is that you're the same person, whether you're on the city council horseshoe or whether someone runs into you in the supermarket or whether they see you in church on Sunday morning. And that wholeness, being the same person, no matter where they poke you, is integrity. You're a person of integrity, and that's what I appreciate most about you. So I'm delighted to be able to vote for this resolution that says thank you for all that you've done for Oklahoma City and for our airports. And now, Nikki, we can call the vote.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Vice Chair Humphries, how do you vote?
I vote yes.
Trustee Stone,
Yes.
Trustee Freeman,
Yes.
Trustee Salmon,
Yes.
and Chairman McAtee, how would you like to vote?
If allowed to vote, I'll vote yes.
The motion passes.
Thank you all. Moving right along and with our agenda. Next item on the agenda is to elect a chairperson for the Oklahoma City Airport Trust to be effective April 13th, 2021. And
I would like to nominate Terry Salmon as our next chairman and make that in the form of a motion.
And I'll second it.
Second.
we have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, if you would call the roll, please.
Chairman McAtee,
Yes.
Trustee Humphries,
Yes.
Trustee Stone,
Yes.
Trustee Freeman,
Yes.
Trustee Salmon.
Yes.
The motion passes.
Thank you. Congratulations, Terry. I know you do a great job, and it's a pleasure having you serve in this capacity.
Well,
Any other
thank you.
comments?
I'd like to at least say thank you for the vote of confidence, and I'll give my very best to the service, to the trust, and to the city of Oklahoma City. Thank you.
Moving right along, do we have a director's report today, Mark?
No, sir. Mr. Chairman, we do not.
Okay, Will Rogers World Airport.
Thank you. Requesting approval for several items under Will Rogers. Item A is to ratify and approve addendum for the Hangar 9 boiler replacement project at Mike Monroney Aeronautical Center. We are receiving the recommendation regarding the bids and awarding the construction contract to Metropolitan AC Service Company for $506,445, approving contract and bonds. Item B is approved change order number 24 to the construction contract with Timberlake Construction. This is for the terminal renovation and expansion phase 3 project. It's an increase of $198,858.53, adding 7 days. Item C is approve the plans and project manual submitted by MacArthur Associated Consultants, LLC. This is for the project to rehabilitate and reconstruct runway 13 and 31. It's a phase 1 of this project, and authorize advertisement for bids to be opened on April 21st. Those are the only items for Will Rogers today. Request approval.
You've heard the items for Will Rogers, the 3 items the director has requested approval on. What is the desire of the trustees?
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, if the secretary would call the roll.
Chairman McAtee,
Yes.
Trustee Humphries,
Yes.
Trustee Stone,
Yes.
Trustee Freeman,
Yes.
Trustee Salmon.
Yes.
The motion passes.
Thank you. Next, Wiley Post Airport.
We have 2 items, Mr. Chairman. Item A is to approve change order number 6 to the contract with Hunter Mechanical Controls Incorporated. This is for the mechanical and plumbing systems replacement project, 48 days. And item B is approve the plans and project manual by CEC Corporation to rehabilitate runway 13 and 31 pavement, lights, and signage, and authorize advertisement for bids to be open on April 21st. Request approval for A and B.
Thank you. You've heard the items under Will Rogers. What's the desire of the trustees?
Move approval of Wiley Post items.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Would you please call the roll, Madam Secretary?
Chairman McAtee,
Yes.
Trustee Humphries,
Yes.
Trustee Stone,
Yes.
Trustee Freeman,
Yes.
Trustee Salmon.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Next item are general.
Mr. Chairman, we have Clarence E. Page Airport. We've separated by itself. We have 1 item for Clarence E. Page Airport.
Okay, let's do Clarence E. Page, the 1 item.
Item A is to approve the plans and project manual submitted by CEC Corporation to rehabilitate the Clarence E. Page Airport apron. Authorized advertisement for bids also on April 21st. Request approval.
You've heard the request for approval for items under Clarence E. Page. What's the desire of the trustees?
Move the item.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Chairman McAtee,
Yes.
Trustee Humphries,
Yes.
Trustee Stone,
Yes.
Trustee Freeman,
Yes.
Trustee Salmon.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Now we'll take care of the items under general.
Thank you. Under general, item A is to receive the delinquent accounts receivable report, construction project status report, and the budget to actual report. Item B is to adopt a resolution between the Oklahoma City Airport Trust and the City of Oklahoma City to submit grant applications for the anticipated Coronavirus Response and Relief Supplemental Appropriations Act which grants funding for Will Rogers, Wiley Post, and Clarence Page airports from the Federal Aviation Administration. This joint resolution provides that we accept the grants when offered, that we designate the official representatives for the administration of the grants, and authorize official representatives to sign the grant documents subject to ratification. Item C is approving the contract for professional services with Freeze and Nichols Incorporated for general environmental consulting services. Item D is approving amendment number 2 to the annual utility repairs and maintenance contract with Southeast Plumbing and Backhoe Incorporated, renewing the contract for its second renewal period. Item E is approving amendment number 2 to the annual miscellaneous services repairs and maintenance contract with Diversified Construction of Oklahoma, contract for its second renewal period. Item F is approve amendment number 2 to the annual paving repairs and maintenance contract with Rudy Construction, also renewing the contract for its second renewal period. Item G is adopt the resolution adopting the City of Oklahoma City's purchasing policies and procedures dated on September 1st, 2020. And we're also rescinding the previous Oklahoma City Airport Trust revised administrative guidelines and procedures for selection of consultants dated May 17th, 2000. Those are all the items under general. Mr. Chairman, request approval.
You've heard the request for approval for the items under general. What's the desire of the trustees?
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, Madam, if you, Secretary, would you please call the roll?
Chairman McAtee,
Yes.
Trustee Humphries,
Yes.
Trustee Stone,
Yes.
Trustee Freeman,
Yes.
Trustee Salmon.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Next item on our agenda are leases and other agreements.
Item A is to approve the assumption agreement and use guarantee for the conveyance of PWAT Hangar Unit 402 from Southern Wing Aircraft Sales to Vector Air Incorporated at Wiley Post Airport. Item B is to approve a lease agreement with Robert O. Hopp for an individual aircraft hangar site for the storage of privately owned aircraft for a 5-year period at Clarence Page Airport. Item C is also to approve a lease agreement with Jordan Hornbeck Jr. and Michael Scott Hornbeck for an individual hangar site for the storage of privately owned aircraft for a 5-year period at Page Airport. Item D is approve the lease agreement with Metro Technology Center School District number 22. This is to lease certain facilities and premises for the purpose of Metro Tech operating an aviation career center at Will Rogers World Airport. Item E is approve the performance bond, which is applicable to the management contract for the Consolidated Rail and Car Center and the operations for the shuttle bus operations and maintenance contract we have with First Transit Incorporated at Will Rogers World Airport. Item F is approve the lease agreement with Pogue Services LLC. This is for an individual hangar site for the storage of privately owned aircraft for a 5-year period at Clarence Page Airport. Item G is approving the supplement number 2 to the agreement with Sorb Technology Incorporated. We're exercising the final 5-year renewal option at Will Rogers World Airport. And last is to approve item H, which is ratifying and approving addendas 1, 2, and 3. This is for the request for bids for a pricing agreement that we went out for compressed natural gas passenger buses associated with the rental car center. And we're awarding and approving the CNG passenger bus pricing agreement with Creative Bus Sales. This will provide natural gas passenger buses for Will Rogers World Airport and the initial purchase of 2 buses in the amount of $897,200. With that, Mr. Chairman, I request approval for all the leases and other agreements.
You've heard the items, leases and other agreements. What are the desire of the trustees?
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, Madam Secretary, if you please call the roll.
Chairman McAtee,
Yes.
Trustee Humphries,
Yes.
Trustee Stone,
Yes.
Trustee Freeman,
Yes.
Trustee Salmon.
Yes.
The motion passes.
Thank you. Mark, if you would, the resolution.
Yes, sir. Request approval for the ratification of the requisitions dated March 25th, 2021, and the resolution approving requisitions, or both of them, March 25th, 2021. Request approval.
You've heard the request for approval. What is the desire of the trustees?
Move approval.
Move the item.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, please cast your votes.
Chairman McAtee,
Yes,
trustee Humphries,
Yes.
trustee Stone,
Yes.
trustee Freeman,
Yes.
trustee Salmon,
Yes.
motion passes.
thank you all. Next on our agenda, any comments from trustees? Hearing none, any comments from staff? Again, hearing none, any comments and for citizens to be heard?
No citizens to be heard today.
We have no citizens to be heard. That concludes the business that we have to conduct. Let the chairman departing say thank you for your service. May God bless you and your family as you continue to take the Will Rogers World Airport to higher and higher heights to serve the citizens of this community. God bless you and thank you for your cooperation. We are adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank
Chairman.
you.
Thanks.